What's up, guys? Welcome to Real Estate Podcast, episode 197. I'm here with Griffin.
Here with Trav.
And I'm here with Adam.
And this week watched Wonder Woman
Wishmaster.
84.
Oh,
What'd you say?
oh, Wishmaster.
Yeah.
my bad.
All right.
So before, all right, we had planned to do this, like a couple of days after the movie released,
Yeah.
and like bigger and better things
Kinda
came
pushed
along.
it.
Yeah, which was a worthy reason
back.
to not. Yeah, and then the reviews started. I started seeing movie reviews pop up on YouTube about how shit this movie was.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, the first one was shit. So, like, how can this be any worse?
This one was way worse.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus.
I'd rather
fucking
watch the
Christ.
first one.
This was bad. It was just.
So remember, every time we would talk about the movie, I was like, I just want to know how fucking, what was his name? What was his name? Steve. Steve came back. I was like, how'd Steve come back? What a cop out, right?
Dude,
Like the way they bring him back is like, so she made a wish on this thing and he came back. It's like, okay,
it's the stupidest shit I've ever
this is some
seen.
fucking, like you said, Wishmaster. This is some fucking Night at the Museum shit.
Yeah, for real, right?
You know?
Like,
No deaths.
No, nobody died. A happy ending.
yeah.
Steve, but he was
Happy
never
ending.
really there. He's like, I
No.
was never really here to begin with. Now was I?
Yeah.
What? Steve.
I mean, dude, it was just like, first of all, the most interesting character that was added to the film was done so fucking piss poor lazily, right? Like, whenever we watch the trailer, Adam's like, this fucking tiger bitch looks cheesy as fuck.
Yeah, that wasn't even the cheesiest thing about the movie.
No, not at all.
No.
And I was like, okay, the movie sucks, but I'm hoping it's building up to like this badass girl fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that like towards the end of the film, she's gonna start growing hair and it's gonna get real weird, but they're gonna have a badass fight. She shows up to this fight in the stupidest fucking armor I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Makes zero goddamn sense why she's showing up in this armor. Like, and this is another thing, Trav. Let me run this by you, right? So
Yeah.
she makes the wish for fucking Steve to come back.
Yeah.
And then in return, she was losing her power, right?
Mhm.
So how
Yeah.
in the fuck does she learn how to turn a whole goddamn jet invisible while she's losing her powers and also learns to fly? It makes zero sense.
Well, the flying did
And-
come after Steve was gone, but the jet thing happened at peak fucking losing powers.
Yes,
Yeah.
at peak.
I
losing-
will say, giving her flight brought her into the Wonder Woman that people are used to now, as far as the comic books are concerned.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they introduced the flight thing and this, that, and the other.
I think this I had a hard time with this movie. I feel like not small things, like I small things I appreciated in the larger sense, and let me just bear with me. Don't recoil in horror just yet, gentlemen. I liked that this movie, although having no reference whatsoever visually, it rooted itself right in the Snyderverse. Like this iteration, like the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman or whatever, it firmly placed it more to where it, because the whole sequence where she's got him by the lasso, and she breaks, more or less breaks the fourth wall and gives the whole people
Yeah.
should be good, that whole speech, that whole music, that's the opening music to the Bruce Wayne funeral from Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
And I that enhanced that scene. Like I actually enjoyed that whole little moment. Granted, we're running on what we got here.
Fumes.
Yeah, I
How'd
mean,
Cheetah get two
I
wishes?
like that.
You ever
I
think
like
about
the
that?
I don't know if it's just because I'm biased in the fact that I'm always in all these type of superhero films, you know, typically characters like the learn to fly sequences, they've gotten better at doing them. You know, you've got Peter Parker learning how to use his web in Spider-Man. You got what I think is the best scene ever, which was Man of Steel's flight sequence. And this kind of followed in the same vein as that, and I thought it was still a good scene. I'll bet for a 2.5 hour film, I felt very rushed.
I
Like
did
rushed,
not.
like rushed along. Well, I mean, well, no, we're like weaving in and out. Like the Cheetah's plot line was fucking dumb. I get why she was there for the film. She was the aspect of wishing where it's personal gain.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
not personal gain, but like idolatry. She
Yeah.
wanted to be like Diana, so she got that.
But she got
Pedro
two wishes,
Pascal.
right?
Dude, I wish someone would shave Pedro Pascal's head and just make this motherfucker Lex Luthor. Because honestly, his performance wasn't bad. I
No, he did a
enjoyed
good
watching
job.
that motherfucker as a villain way more than the whole Cheetah thing. And the reason, and like them taking the extra time to root the whole family man thing, showing
Yeah.
you that he was somebody from nothing and all of that. Like, granted, the MacGuffin of the film was fucking dumb.
Yeah.
What they like, they did the best with him, and I'll bet a little bit with Wonder Woman herself with the stone. Everything else was kind of like whenever the wishes started getting out of hand, and like every 2 seconds,
Yeah.
like we went from like 4 people making wishes to be like really rich and
Straight
powerful
up
to like
Disney movie.
fucking
That
like it was
a little
crazy.
cheesy.
There
Dude.
was when I went in thinking Shazam level feel good, like, and that's kind of what this tone did. Like, it kind of, it's like it tried to pull itself from the Snyderverse a little bit, but put it up, tried to wedge it in that bar that Shazam and Aquaman's trying to set for the DCU movies.
Well, it tried, but it failed miserably because,
I think the nuke thing was a little dumb.
A lot of little
Yeah.
in there.
But here's my thing, man, and I thought this movie was the movie was off to a good start because I was
Even
trying
with
to
the like ceremony of her trying to win the.
Well, no, not that. There's a sequence, man,
Oh.
where she's doing Wonder Woman shit. She's saving
Yeah, it's
random
almost like the old TV
citizens
shows.
at the beginning,
You know,
and
she's
it's
running
all
around
like
doing
upbeat.
stuff.
So, well, it made me think of like that whole sequence, man. Was
Yeah,
like it felt like it could fit in the Richard. It could have fit in the Richard Donner universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that with it being 84, they were going to kind of maybe, you know, invoke that a little bit, but they quickly didn't.
Yeah. Well, and all right, so I had tons and tons of issues with the film. And I'm not going to be shy about that whatsoever because it's like the Cheetah stuff turned out to be the coolest stuff in the movie when in reality it shouldn't have been. Pedro Pascal's character was amazing.
Yeah.
Even though he played it super over the top, like super fucking over the top. But
that's the thing. I tied him to Gene Hackman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
like
I can see that.
Like if this movie was shot in the 80s, I think it would have shelved itself right next to Superman the movie.
Yeah.
I think this movie was better than the first. I think that's where I differ the most with you guys. This movie was more to stomach for me than, well, not stomach, but more to deal with, or you know what I'm saying. I thought it was a better film because I guess it's because I'm so tired of origin films now.
Yeah.
That I'm ready for. All right, here's the movie. Cut to the hero doing the hero shit. Let's get the shit going.
But that's the thing, like the hero doing hero shit was like not really the hero doing any fucking thing other than bouncing around. Like this. All right. So the opening to the film, like you said, Trav, where she's showing up and saving the day was great. And if they would have kept that tone and that pacing throughout the whole film and threw a couple of villains in there, because like, all right, Wonder Woman villains over the top. In the first film, the Wonder Woman villain was over the top. Like the scientist and all that stupid shit was completely over the top and like almost like laughably over the top. So Pedro Pascal's character fit in with that perfectly. Cheetah, Ares, like, all right, Ares from the first film, in my opinion, was a better villain because I felt like it tied more closely to her as a character. But I thought that they could have took the idea of Cheetah and just expanded on that and made her a worthy adversary that's going to continue to come back time and time again. Because like you said, origin stories out of the way, we need a consistent character that's going to keep fucking with her time and time again, and that's gonna just pop up. They're
Well,
gonna have a little
she needs
skirmish.
her Luther. She needs her Luther now.
Yes, she needs her Luther. I felt like the only reason that they set this film in the 80s was so that they could have this dress up scene with fucking Chris Pine. That's the only reason it felt like it was in the fucking 80s, in my
A
opinion.
little pretty woman
Because
scene.
yes,
Yeah.
because they could have had this set in modern times. They could have kept the oil thing the same. They could have kept Pedro's character the same, and they could have just had it rooted in modern day and had it take place before the events of Batman v Superman or whatever. Like, instead of like after the events of it, they could have had it taken place before because the world is fucking fucked up because of Superman dying and coming back and all this other shit. They could have set it that far in the past as opposed to setting it in 1984, which, like, I mean, when I think of a movie set in the 80s, like, look at what Captain Marvel did, right? Captain Marvel was set in the 90s. You felt like you were in the 90s. The music and everything else reflected the fact that you were in the 90s, right? I didn't feel like that. I didn't feel like it was reflected of being in the 80s other than, oh, he's wearing a fucking fanny pack. Great. Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? And the Wishmaster thing was interesting, but it should have been. It was. It was almost too big and over the top to the point where you're like, okay, this is getting out of hand. Everybody's getting wishes. He's feeding on this power. He's doing all this crazy fucking wishmaster shit. And it's fucking with him. So he's going to take vitality and all this other stuff from other people and use that as his motivation to keep granting wishes. And it's going to be this vicious cycle because blah, 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 blah. And then you get that. He shows up. He's like, oh, there's a way to communicate with everybody. Let's make that happen. So he shows up to do that. She wrecks the camera. And then he stands in the fucking UFO. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Well, it felt like it built up, like, because the first 2 hours, which is the bulk of the film, builds up to these big moments that go down, like her being a hero, like her showing that she's a superhero that is going to try to talk the person out of it, like, and whether you like that approach to heroes or not, they built up to that moment amongst other stuff, and then it was like, oh, we have 30 minutes, we need to wrap this shit. And I felt like it just went from like, oh, okay, I'm done, let's renounce my wish, it's over with.
Yeah.
Like,
how it's so easy to do that too, right?
Yeah.
like
All you
I
gotta do is
don't know,
say
it could have, like, for a movie trying to raise the stakes and have the emotional weight of her having to let go of Steve,
Again.
because everything was building up to where they landed some punches, because I saw what they were trying to do, particularly in the mass lasso of truth sequence. Like, I get that, but I just felt that it kind of was and how, like, it just wrapped it. Like, she did that and just, it wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, the movie had this really good pacing up to that, and then it was like, all right, movie over.
Well, it sputtered itself out. And like, to me, it's like, first of all, the movie shouldn't have been 2.5 hours long. They should have cut it down. They should have had Cheetah being the focus of the villain. They should have built Pedro Pascal's character up even more so and not even had him be the real quote unquote villain in this film. And they should have built those two characters up together to where it culminated into the third film where he's the bad guy, she's the bad guy, she's the muscle, he's the brains. And it could have really, in my opinion, worked up to a nice little two and done. But they blew their entire load in this film, and to me it just feels like I didn't get anything out of it because all right, Pedro is going to jail. His character's going to jail, obviously. And then Cheetah lost all her powers. So it's like, what was really accomplished?
Well,
Like,
it had to keep it reset so that she could make her reappearance in Batman versus Superman. And I keep having it in my gut that I feel like this movie did almost like some vicarious exposition for Batman. Because I feel like song selection and music choice is a big deal in these films, particularly with heroes, because you have motifs. And those motifs always follow when certain action sequences kick in or when certain memories of a character's lore needs to be remembered. And I really think that that sequence was low key showing, because it went deep with Pascal's character to where he was a child. It showed his upbringing. It showed that he was a damaged individual and that he can come back from it, like good and light side, the whole, whatever. We've been chewing on Star Wars shit, so that dichotomy and that whole, people can change type of theme that's used in a lot of movies. And I think that by using that music, it kind of was like, you know, that's why Batman, like it's just that low key, almost like it's just a subtle nod, man. And it kind of, because it made me think of Batman immediately while it was showing all of that. It was just like, okay, here's, that's why things are like why nobody's perfect. And it was like, here's a thing that you're gonna relate to. Fucking Batman. Think about him. And
yeah,
think
but
of him in the context with, and I mean, it's something that I don't think probably hardly anybody gives a second thought, but I just feel like with the way we fucking watch these movies now, man, like I just feel like shit's put in there for a reason.
well, yeah, I get that, but like, let's compare it for a second to Aquaman, right?
All right.
Uh, all right, so in Aquaman's story, you have Aquaman being Aquaman. You have this not really coming of age story, but a coming of hero story. If you bear with me here for a second, of Aquaman becoming the person that he's always meant to be, and becoming the leader, and being what he needs to be and who he needs to be for the build up for the Justice League and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And they did that without having to anchor onto other characters. And that's my whole thing. I get it. I get that like this is a lead into Batman v Superman and to the Justice League and all this kind of stuff. But like knowing what we know now and knowing that Snyder is going to get his Justice League cut, and that's going to be the end of the Snyderverse. And that they've came out and that they've said, well, these characters are going to exist on their own, and there's not going to be any crossovers, and we're not going to do any Justice League or anything like that. I mean, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like they really shit the bed because like I wasn't thinking Batman and I wasn't thinking Superman. And the reason why was because I'm over it. And the reason why I'm over it is because Snyder's going to release his shit and that's going to be the end of it. That's like when the next Aquaman comes out. In my mind, it's not going to build up to anything and it's not going to culminate to anything because they've already came out and said that. So, and I get that it took place in '84. And to me, if they would have had it taken place like, I don't know, a year before Batman v Superman in modern day, then to me, it would have held more weight in that regard. But it was just too far of a time gap between the two and knowing that nothing's going to come of it. It just,
And I
like,
agree. That's the grim reality of it. I agree. I think that it was a bittersweet, albeit pleasant surprise that this movie kept its groundedness in the Snyderverse, more so than what we were led to believe a lot of these movies were going to be moving forward.
Right.
I think if because I feel like they would have ditched the Junkie XL motif every time she started doing badass stuff, and ditched the Batman versus Superman or the Bruce Wayne motif. I can't remember what that's actually fucking called, but whatever. And I think that stuff. I think music matters in these types of adventure hero films, and I think that grounds it so that the movie can still do its own thing and not have to explain all that stuff. But like the movie had really small but great moments. And it just sucks, like you said, to go with your opinion. It sucks that it's it's an entry to a story that may not get resolved ever.
Yeah. Well, and
It's
and
just it's that thankfulness though that at least it's because the way that I look at it, if I'm gonna watch if I'm gonna waste my time watching a build up of the DCU outside of the Superman films, it's cool that this is the Wonder Woman movie I would pick of the two that exist to throw in the watch for it. But I mean,
Right.
that's not saying much, you know.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it.
I really hate that it didn't separate itself completely like that, because if it's doing things to evoke like the Snyderverse and shit, I don't get why they would do that if it's like, hey, because outside of the movie's writing and everything, which is I hate that there were so many good ideas in there that didn't get executed properly.
Yeah. I mean, because like my biggest complaint with the film was like the whole time I was watching it, I'm like, okay, this movie is goofy and it's pretty shitty, but hopefully it'll all culminate to like a badass fight. Like that was at least maybe we'll get that out of it. And this cheetah fight was so fucking stupid and short and made no fucking sense. I don't want to see too.
Yeah, I
I don't.
think I think the lore behind the armor was cool to be explained, but I think it was unnecessary to be used in battle.
Yeah, yeah, it made no fucking sense, man. And like, I was like, okay, the armor's cool. The armor is to show up and fight goddamn dark side in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, like
that's the reason you explain that armor. You don't explain that armor and then have her show up and fight somebody that she's only had an encounter with one time and that seems to be on somewhat the same power level that she is on. And
yeah,
like,
I mean she wrecked her fucking wings.
yeah, I mean, and it's like,
I mean,
okay,
An
and
army
it
couldn't
showed.
stop them, but she could.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's like she shows up and she just being a badass and everything. But like, if I wanted to watch two Spider-Man fight each other at the same time, I would watch the animated series because all it was two people swinging around on shit until someone got electrocuted. Like when Cheetah was attacking her with those wings and all that kind of stuff, I was like, okay, this is getting good. This is getting to the point where like Wonder Woman's,
Whipping
she's
some
going to be
ass.
matched. Well, she's going to be matched. This is going to be a good fight. It's going to be a knockdown drag out. No, we're going to electrocute the water. Fuck it. And I'm just like, really?
yeah,
Like,
that was underwhelming.
yeah. And to me, that's
All of the action scenes with her up to that point though were actually pretty good. I thought leaning the Steve, the whole Steve pilot thing. Steve's arc is underrated in this fucking movie, dude. I get it. He has stupid guy moments. He really does. But like the whole idea of like a pilot from 1945 coming into 84, seeing the advancements and like seeing what his life was and how it's advanced, and like the whole and using him getting to have like one last flight and using that to introduce the whole or have the whole invisible plane sequence or whatever. I thought that was probably the best they could do with that.
man, they could have just not done it at all.
But it was giving you the stakes laying it in more so that when it's like, hey, fucking, got to give up your wish, because I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you
lose
could, I
Steve
mean,
again.
I mean, the first, I mean, yeah.
I don't
mean,
want Steve to show back up.
The minute, dude, the
That's for
minute
sure.
Steve showed up, I was like, he's gonna die again.
Yeah,
That's her.
well,
that's
you already
her,
know
that's
that
her big.
she's gonna have to lose him. Like, because I thought I was like, she's gonna kill
the
the
movie's
dude.
plot's predictable, but at the end of the day, man, like as far as a comic film, it's got some things that were okay and a lot of things that weren't okay.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean,
it just depends. It depends on how you're gonna approach this. If you're gonna watch it for just some of the character development, because some of Wonder Woman's development in the film made sense in contrast to the original. Like, and I mean, we have to take this movie for what it is, and for it to have the themes, underlying agendas, and the stuff that it's trying to get across. Because, I mean, at this point, this movie was like by like not even 10 minutes in, this movie was, you know, probably knocking on people's heads, going, "Think, McFly, think." I think it could have been more on the nose about those things, which would have really fucking ripped this movie apart for me. But considering what I knew going in, what this movie was going to be doing, saying its whole agenda outside of being a superhero film, it wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be. But am I going to come back to this film? Probably not. I'm glad I only watched it once instead of like 2 or 3 times like I did the first one, making the rounds
not even
with
in
the
the
family.
same setting, right? See, I sat through it.
Yeah,
2.5 hours and was like, okay.
I watched the first 30 minutes of it yesterday. Got kind of preoccupied, and then I finished the last 2 hours. So it was 2 sittings, but one was basically the whole fucking movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think you highlighted a very good point, Griff. It just really sucks that we know where this character is going in a way.
Yeah.
And it's not. It just sucks because her learning to fly and having the whole being able to, you know, channel Steve when she fucking jumps now. I want a shot of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman in the air now.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, man.
I want to see the Trinity doing cool shit.
Yeah. Well, and that to me, it's like, all right, you establish Wonder Woman, you establish the character in the first one, and like at the end of the day, all I wanted was Wonder Woman being bad fucking ass, and you get some of Wonder Woman being bad fucking ass,
like her going through that caravan of vehicles in the Middle East. And like using the piece of scrap metal to fucking skate the road while she's making her way under it, and her getting shot, highlighting that the wish is fucking coming at like somebody's cashing that check now, and fucking like those sequences were cool. Like I don't read enough Wonder Woman outside of crossovers, and I'm by no means like, you know, a Wonder Woman enthusiast or whatever. But like to my knowledge, the action pieces that had her in there were like. They look like shots that I would see when she's fucking helping out Batman and Superman and shit, and the characters that I do read.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I guess that's why, like, okay, so Batman v Superman, she shows up and she's just a fucking badass the whole time, right? I mean, she shows up and they're fighting fucking Doomsday, and it's like, getting fucking badass.
She's fucking stopping his ass with goddamn gauntlets and shields and shit, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, to me, like, I like Wonder Woman as the character. I like Wonder Woman. I like the idea of Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I mean, she's a female Captain America in a sense. Like, if Captain America and Superman had a characteristic shakeup, you know, that's Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
and her whole idea of like true like the hearkening back to like early comics where it wasn't about saving the universe or or some fucking crazy like cosmic event or something. It was simple like values that heroes were fighting for: truth, justice, American way, etc., etc. And it had a little bit of charm with that. And like there were things that made me be like that little nods in the writing that I appreciated. But did that save? But I mean, in context to the movie, or in contrast to just the movie as a whole, the movie was the movie.
Yeah. The movie was.
I was just surprised that that there were someone on that production team was giving a shit. They didn't have enough people on board.
Yeah. Well, they should have done a full rewrite. To me, they had good characters. The wish thing was a little, but they could have built that up and they could have made more out of that.
Truth be told, man, if they'd have just got rid of Cheetah, because let's face it, Cheetah's character, and this is not to knock on Kristen Wiig, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to knock on her, because her performance, it was what it was. As an actress, it was one of those cases where she did the best she could with how she was written.
Yeah. Exactly.
I would like to see her be in more villainous roles. Because from what I know of her filmography, I've only watched her in comedies.
Yeah. I mean, that's the same. And I think she did a fine job. It's just,
but
to me, it felt like, well, it felt like they
Oh,
introduced the character, but they didn't know what to do with the character. To me, Patty Jenkins took a bunch of shit and put it into a blender and just poured it on a goddamn script page. That's what it felt like to me. There was a lot of interesting ideas. There was a lot of cool things that they could have done with it, but it felt like none of it was executed well at all. None of it. And I mean, all the weird shit, like the invisible jet shit while she's supposed to be losing her powers. Why did that exist? You know what I'm saying? Whenever
it was a
radar.
I admit it was a pointless Easter egg.
Yeah, I mean it made no sense. Who gives a fuck about the radar? You know, like who cares? Like they should have just had that another action sequence where it showcases dude's flying ability. You know, and let that be that. It's like, oh, he's from World War One, and he's flying the fuck out of this jet.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Well, I mean, they did things to show you like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he figured it out. Like I don't know, they didn't. I figured he was going to primarily be in the movie to be the stupid guy, this, that, and the other. But he wasn't, and I was surprised at that. He was absolutely there for some of the levity, kind of like reversing, because it was the parallel to the first movie where she's in the world for the first time, and we get all her seeing ice cream and shit. It was the parallel to that shit.
Yeah,
but I liked how I think they did the Man Out of Time arc with him really good, and I wish the film had been more about that whole relationship and then figuring out the wish stone and what have you. Leave Cheetah to be harkened at later on, because that's the thing with the wishes. She didn't have to return her wish. The world was fixed by the time it cut to her being like,
yeah.
So it would have been interesting if she had kept it.
Yeah.
And she tries to do the right thing again, but she still keeps her powers, but then have her snap again, and then we finally have the fight that we need or wanted or should have gotten, and let the movie focus on, because some of the best parts in the movie because although the whole the really standing for good aspects of her dialogue when Wonder Woman would talk and have her little moments and shit, I think if Cheetah's whole action stuff had been left out and just alluded to, and still have Kristen Wiig be a character to help her figure out what the stone's from, and that way it could have focused more on the Wishmaster or Pedro Pascal or whatever, I think we would have got even more aired out character development. It would have been even more impactful. because the movies, the best parts were in some of the movie's dialogue over its action sequences. Because getting to that action, the action didn't really have any, breaking it down, like, think of it this way. When we had the Luke Skywalker thing in Star Wars and The Mandalorian, when he shows up and he's just, it's, to someone tuning in, yeah, it's just a mindless slaughter of a dude killing a bunch of robots. But if you watch the episode and have been watching the show, the stakes are there. There's so much built up on that scene happening.
Yeah.
And that's why you have the emotional, feeling you get when that sequence happens, and it's so dramatic and you're sucked in. Some of the stuff with Cheetah didn't have that. There wasn't anything that made the action have sense.
Yeah.
Other than just, she was just greedy. Diana figured it out and was like, you know what? Wish has got to go. And she's like, fuck it. Guess I'll fight you.
Yeah. Well, and dude, this would have been an even better ending, right? So, I'm doing a rewrite on the fly here. All right. We get Cheetah's arc. She's finding out what the stone is. Her and Diana have this relationship where all this stuff is happening. She goes a little crazy, like the White House scene and all that stuff ends up happening. Whenever it cuts to dude broadcasting himself across the planet and everybody's making wishes, then it should have, instead of like saving his life, quote unquote, it should have had it build up to where he gets uncontrollable power. And then whenever Diana shows up, her and Cheetah have a badass fight. And then Cheetah realizes in that moment what's happening. And then Cheetah and Wonder Woman have to fight him, who has uncontrollable power, and stop everything from happening. Would that not have been a better film?
It would have went along with the unifying message that Wonder Woman was conveying throughout the film.
Yeah. But then you can also have it to where, like, okay, so everybody starts losing all their wishes, all this stuff, and now Cheetah has resentment for Wonder Woman because she lost all of her powers and all of her abilities. Then you build her up into an even more vengeful character in a sequel. And have it to where, like, maybe she doesn't have the power, but maybe she finds a way to get the power. Or maybe she, like, has a suit or something that's made, or have, like, body enhancements or something. Like, this is a fucking comic book movie. They could do anything that they wanted to do there. And we didn't have the badass fight scene. We didn't really have any stakes with Pedro other than the world getting nuked, which we knew wasn't going to happen because, let's face it, this was 1984 and fucking Justice League and all. Like, the stakes were not there. But if he would have had just uncontrollable power where he could do all this crazy shit, or who knows, like the god that created the stone and all this kind of shit, like, since he wished to become the stone, then why didn't they have him start turning into this crazy godlike character? Like, there's so many things that they...
He was trying to turn into something, wasn't he? He was getting sick the whole fucking movie. Like,
well, that's
they didn't
because,
really
like,
talk. It was like it was poisoning him, though. You see the veins on the side of his face. They got all pale.
well, it's like whenever you ask for a wish, the wish comes true, it takes something from you. But
Yeah.
I feel like the stone over time breaks down. And that's what was happening with his body.
Well, he used a bunch of wishes to rebuild himself there at the end, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was, because he was saying, I need your life force and all that
he was
bullshit.
taking whatever he wanted from people for the wish.
I think I kind of rolled my eyes when you realize that we're dealing with yet another superhero film where the plot hangs in the balance of magic fucking stone.
Yeah.
That I would say that's probably the bad lieutenant decision of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he wanted to become the stone, I was like, this is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's going to turn into Loki.
I thought he was going to turn into that god.
Yeah, like, more or less.
Cool. Well, I don't know how much the characters interact in the comics, honestly. But I think it would have been interesting if Wonder Woman had been pitted in a with a Pedro have Pedro Pascal be Lex Luthor's father.
Yeah.
And let Wonder Woman go up against him getting power hungry.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely could have done that, and that would have been an interesting little nod, twist, and handshake, but like they could have done anything other than what they did, and it would have been a better film in my opinion. And like, I mean, there's a lot of missed opportunity. A lot of missed opportunity.
My only hope is that when we get the final Wonder Woman movie, because let's face it,
Yeah, they've
these things
announced
come
the
in
third one.
threes.
They've already announced that. That's on there.
Well, if this one's keeping the trajectory, then that keeps her character continuity fixed and everything. When she shows up in Batman vs Superman, she's noped the fuck out of being Wonder Woman.
Right.
Like she shows up at the end because she explains, I believe, to Bruce, I think. She's like, I kind of turned my back on humanity a long time ago.
But all that brought her back.
Well, there needs to be a movie that explains why the fuck she nopes the fuck out. Like the movie that kind of has a not necessarily Empire Strikes Back feeling, but kind of like she saves the day, but she's like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, a lot of, and this is kind of tropey at this point, but it's kind of that whole idea of like, who came first, Batman or the Joker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't have one without the other. And the same idea and it exists through all of comic book, no matter what the character is. If you have one, you have inevitably the other one. And I mean, that realization could have been made in this film. Like, she could have saved the world and she could have had that realization right there. It's like, I've created all of this. Because if they would have built Cheetah the right way, then it could be Wonder Woman's fault for all these terrible things that happen to people because she wanted to be like Wonder Woman. That guilt could have weighed on her enough.
Have that moment where she's like, I wanted to be like you, motherfucker. Like,
yeah. And it's just like missed opportunity. Like, it blows it just blows my fucking mind. Like, anybody that gives any shit about any comic book could have went in and wrote a better script for this film than what we got. And it could have built up, and it could have been a two-parter, and it could have been fucking amazing. And it was just like the other one. Just shit. Just shit piled on shit. It just blows my fucking mind, dude. Like, in the world in 2020, how do you fuck up a comic book movie?
Sony, you want to answer that question?
Dude, I would much rather watch fucking Venom.
I'm just saying, they know how to fuck one up too. Like,
dude, I would much rather watch any of those Spider-Man movies, Amazing Spider-Man, Venom, any of that stuff over Wonder Woman. Because at least there's some enjoyment and pleasure I get out of watching them.
You know what's crazy about this is when you look at the writers. Of course, you got her, but like the other two guys, they're comic book guys.
Yeah, Geoff Johns.
They do, the Flash, Aquaman, Stargirl, if you want me, all
and
this.
Here's the thing. I feel like a lot of
Godzilla.
I feel like I know what scenes I like,
they
and I
put
feel like
in
they might have been done by Geoff Johns, man. And I feel like everything I highlighted that I gave even remotely good praise to, I feel like that had to be Jones moments. I mean,
Jenkins.
I could be wrong.
We look at
and that'd be a pleasant surprise,
resume, and not a comic book person.
I just hope she does better with fucking the Star Wars property.
She's not writing that.
Yeah, thank fucking Christ.
She's just directing it. Yeah. George Lucas is the writer of the...
Like, I feel like every real, true comic books shot in that movie was Geoff Johns.
Where do you think the one came from where she fucking roped the airplane? that was fucking 2 miles away. Ugh.
I could see that as being Jones, dude. Because here's the thing,
That rope got
he's
real
not
long
without
all of a sudden.
he's not without his own faults. I believe
No.
we criticized some of his stuff before.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
like, and I had hope that Geoff Johns could really rein in and be the Feige of DC.
well, he can. He just needs to quit fucking writing and just be the one that's like, this is a good idea. This needs to build to this. This is a bad idea. Like, he just needs to be that guy instead of like, I'm going to write a fucking movie script and I don't know goddamn anything about writing movie scripts.
Because the thing is, he's wrote some really great stuff.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
his fucking his Justice League run whenever they rebooted was fucking fantastic, man. It was really good. But guess what? It was a comic book. You can't write comic books the same way you write movies. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work. We've seen it happen time and time again, and it just fell. And that's why, like, I'm super excited for Todd McFarlane's version of, Spawn. But at the same time, I'm like, you're a comic book writer, guy. Like, I get what, like that. It makes me a little hesitant, just a hair. I'm glad that the creator of the character is the one controlling everything. But also at the same time, it's like, it works
sometimes that's not
yeah, because
the way to go.
it works on paper with ink and color and drawings, but like it doesn't translate well to visual media a lot of the times. And the reason why is because people don't talk in real life like they talk in comic books. You know what I mean?
Especially not like Golden and Silver Age.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about some camp, dude, like spread on thick.
Yeah.
Like baby's first butter spread, dude. Like,
well, all I'm gonna say is if I had to pick a Wonder Woman movie to watch, it would not be this one. I at least got some enjoyment out of Ares and the performance that guy had and how it tied into the character. And like the flashback sequences and things at Themyscira actually made sense in the first film. It felt like a 30-minute time waster in this film, like showing all this stuff. It just felt, ugh.
Trav, did you see the credit scene?
The Linda Curtis reference.
I thought that was cool.
You caught that thing?
Yeah.
Thanks for saving my kid.
I thought that was cool. I thought that's an interesting idea to bring her in here to be this other character and all this other stuff. Like, I thought that was fantastic. But, like, I mean, it's just so many missed opportunities, man. And I want a good Wonder Woman movie. Like, that's really, out of all the DC, because, like, whenever Aquaman came out, I'm like, this is going to be a shit show.
Yeah, we all said that.
Well, here's what's crazy. So now that I'm kind of thinking in terms of DC, one thing that's 100% confirmed is that all of DC's stuff is canon. Like all of its visual media. Right. Now that I remember now, Crisis on Infinite Earths and the Arrowverse solidified that concept. So theoretically, that's a Wonder Woman from another dimension, possibly. Yeah.
Well, I think that was one. I think the idea of Wonder Woman was like, or the idea of that post-credit scene was Linda Carter played a version of Wonder Woman who actually wasn't Diana. It was this other character. Like, I think that's kind of what they were going for, and she'll probably show up in the next film,
which is cool. I think. I think the idea that we could see different versions, like in DC, like they don't have, like they already took the step that Marvel hasn't yet, and that's establish a multiverse.
Yeah.
Which was clever on DC's part. Because now there's so many more little twists and turns they can take with properties now. Things can show up that don't have to make sense because it's like, well, okay, how'd that get there? Maybe it'll be resolved, maybe not. Enjoy it. you know?
I don't remember the name, but when she comes up at the end, they tell you what her name is.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
She
remember.
had a
And
whole
that
other name.
whenever it showed her with the suit fighting against the mankind or whatever, that was her. Like she was that character in that moment.
Oh,
So like, and I think that was a cool little nod, and the way they did that and everything. It's just everything else. It's like, ugh, you know.
yeah, I mean, I give it a half star. You guys have pretty much said everything.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to pick one, I'm gonna pick the OG Wonder Woman, and I think I gave that no stars. So I think in keeping tradition, no stars, no redeeming factor.
I'll have to side with Adam and give it I'll have to give it a half star.
Party half star.
Yeah.
I don't think I gave the other Wonder Woman no star. I don't remember, but
I mean it.
And the only reason I say that I'd like to watch the other one, if someone was like, I'm going to watch Wonder Woman, which one do you want to watch? The reason I picked the other one is because the last time I watched that was when it came out.
Right.
And I just watched this one today, so
yeah,
I'd rather see that other one. That's why I say that, like.
Right.
But yeah, we watched The Stand.
Yeah, I'm caught up on it.
Shit's getting real.
It's really good, man. Like I'm happy with what they're doing with it over there, and I just can't wait for more. Like I wish that they would have released it all at one time. That's my biggest problem with it. And like the cast that they chose for all of these characters, to me, feels very spot on.
Dude, how good is Whoopi Goldberg?
I mean, she's
killing his mother Abigail.
Yeah, I mean, she is. You know,
like right at the end of the last episode.
Yeah.
And it's like when they come into the hospital. They're talking to the Asian dude.
Yeah.
And it's like some evil shit is afoot.
Yeah. How fucked up was that? They're like, they crucified him, but they knew how to do it because they like crucified him between his bones and his joints and shit. Like,
won't kill you.
That was fucking nuts. And then dude takes control of his body.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh my. How good
what
is
about the chick?
She's
on some. What was that movie we watched with?
I just realized something. Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter. We moved on.
The movie where dude died. Remember he was talking to the dead people? Was it Flatliners?
Yeah.
All right. You remember the ghost? And and then you got the chick that's like in love with the ghost. This chick is simping on the ghost, dude. She's simping on old dude. She's like, I need to see, and she's using this fucking. I ain't never seen this Ouija board thing with a fucking pencil on it. So she's like simping on his ass. She's like, I want to see you. It's like, all right, calm down.
Well, she's
like in love with him.
Well, she's gonna try to kill Abigail and the rest of them, and fucking Stu.
Well, there's a few people that are there.
Yeah.
The one guy that the chick left.
How good's the painter? I love that guy as an actor. I can't think of what his name is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was painting everybody.
They're smoking weed. He's hitting a dab pen. He's like, you ever had caviar? He's like, no, use chips. It's better. Yeah, I can't think of that guy's name either.
He is so good. But
that's the thing with this thing though, man. If they dropped it all at once, I'd already be done with it.
Yeah, me too. After that first episode, we would have sat there and watched all of it. Yeah. Like every
the first time I sat down to watch it, I had 2. And see, that was Amber Heard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Not bad, right?
Not too bad. I mean, she's playing a bitch,
Yeah, of course,
She's doing a pretty good job.
What about dude who plays Larry?
The black guy,
He
Larry
reminds me of,
Underwood.
yeah. He kind of has this Hendrix vibe to him,
Well,
don't
he reminds me of that dude that's in that band that did the song for the Come Together.
Oh, Gary Clark Jr.
He looks just like the motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, he does.
I thought it was
he?
him when he was playing the music. I was like, is that Gary Clark Jr.?
Yeah, right. How crazy would that have been?
Randall Flagg, dude.
The Skarsgårds
Yeah, dude.
are natural born villains, dude.
Fucking Nick, dude, the deaf guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's
doing
great.
a good job. And it's like weird. It's like you're gonna be Mother Abigail's voice. And it's like, motherfucker, I can't talk.
What about shows up at the hospital? He goes, "My name."
Oh my god, dude, this guy. I have a problem dealing with social cues. How fucking? Because I was like, who are they gonna get to play that? Because that's like an iconic character there, dude.
Yeah.
Moon. That spells moon.
Yeah.
It's
like killing it, though,
oh,
man.
dude, and he was dressed. He's wearing like a fanny pack, these shorts, and like it's like, dude, you're perfect.
Yeah.
This old lady told me to call you, come see you, and find you. And I wish I knew her name.
Yeah.
That dude was killing it.
Yeah, he was. When he showed up, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Like, they're fucking going
Sorry
for it.
about your friend in there.
Yeah. It's like, well, the friend just beat his fucking eye out of his face.
Yeah, right.
How crazy was that scene, though? He, like, that dude beat the shit out of him, and he's dying. And dude's, like, bringing him water and stuff, man. Like,
trying to just a good guy.
Yeah. Well, and I like that.
That's Greg Kinnear.
I like that scene where it's like, God needs you. And it's like, well, what if I don't believe in God? It's like, well, God believes in you. And it's like, whoa, it's getting heavy,
I'm on my way.
Abigail's over here fucking throwing some damn heat.
Yeah.
But I can't wait. The next episode is going to be good. I wish that they would have dropped it all at one time. But I mean, Trav, you're caught up, right?
No, sadly.
Out of what you've seen, would you trust this guy to do the Dark Tower?
I don't trust anybody to do that shit, right? Ron Howard couldn't even fucking do it.
Yeah, but I don't think he was
I would give his attempt a go. I mean, they nailed Flag, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Stu.
He's
and
that
dude
great.
should play him in it. Like he's
God.
He's fucking good.
Yeah. And he could technically, right? I mean, what's crazy is whenever Josh Boone was wanting to cast the series, he wanted to cast McConaughey as Stu, and he wanted to cast Idris Elba as Larry.
Man, it would be so badass. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about. I'm still chewing on the Dark Tower thought. It would be so badass if he says something to whenever he's issuing commands and he's like, I gotta step out for a second. I gotta deal with a thorn in my side. And as he goes through like a portal, you just hear someone go, Flag, the gunslingers have made it to, and you're like, what? And it just cuts it off, like.
Shit, they might.
It's like there's little reference and nods like that in some of King's book. Like, they could pull it off and it would be a cool little, like, if you weren't paying attention, you'd have just assumed he just left. But if you're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but if you're a fan, you're in.
Yeah, or something that's cool, or like the gunslingers entered in world, like, and it would be cool because it would even give you like a time and place of what part in the storyline's going on too. Like it could pack such a punch in such a short amount of time.
Yeah. Nah, I mean, if this dude was interested, and I know that like The Stand is his be all end all like favorite King.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do the most.
Yeah. But if they give him the opportunity to do the Dark Tower series, I'm 110% down for
Does
it.
he
Like,
want to do it?
see, I don't know.
He did when
He
I mean, he
may.
didn't say anything about it when they were doing that podcast, but I think the movie hadn't come out yet. Like,
Yeah.
it's been years ago. Like,
Yeah. This
here's
was
the
like
thing
while
though,
they were
it's
making.
got to be done as a TV show. I mean, they're
Yeah.
showing you, you do that now. The
That's a
budget's there,
long fucking story, man. It needs to
and
be a TV
yeah,
show.
you can't cram that shit in. Even into 3 movies it's a stretch. That's
Yeah.
Dude, if they could at least do 6 to 8 seasons, they could tell the whole story.
And they may do it. I mean, put it on HBO
we'll see
Max.
how good this goes.
I mean,
Yeah.
if the writers could get the pacing really well, they could probably do it in 5.
Yeah.
And it would still be good.
Well, I mean, we've all watched series where it's just nonstop from beginning to end. And like you get so much information, but it doesn't feel rushed. They probably could do that. And
'Cause,
they,
I mean, it would be
mean-
crazy for them to show a legit like do a crazy visual on what a beam quake would look like, or better yet, even showcase like an area where a beam's been broken, so that universe is just like fading out, just like dusting out like Thanos snapped.
right.
So did we
Like-
talk about the fact that they canceled? Remember, Amazon was going to do a TV series.
Yeah, I was gonna have Braun
They
in it
canceled it.
from Game of Thrones.
I think that's just one of those properties, man, where it's like, man, you
I
better do that
wonder if they
right,
had
because
I wonder if they had enough footage to. I wonder if they had enough footage to have like a pilot that we could one day see.
There's no telling, man. But
Because I would be interested to see how they went about it. Because you could even go so crazy as like to have different camera techniques. Like
yeah,
whenever it deals with Roland and Gilead and he's becoming a gunslinger, and it deals with like before the world moved on. It could be shot with sequences that look like imagine how Game of Thrones looked whenever it would show them talking somewhere and you'd see like some hills off in the distance and shit.
right.
But then when it cuts to the city, it's very, when they go to different times, you can have something look like whenever they're dealing with the tech corporation, you can almost you could artistically make it look almost Blade Runner looking, like
Right.
and
But
just
yeah.
really go for the gusto with that shit. I mean, they'll never do it. Like that story will never get justice on screen. It's cool that they're now like The Stand. I've enjoyed what I've watched so far. I'm interested to see how they continue going. I know I still got some catching up, but
well, you've seen 2 episodes, right?
Yeah,
There's only 3
yeah. So,
that are out.
okay, so,
Yeah, it's
but
just 3.
okay, so I'm
And
not that
it's
far
9
behind.
total,
Cool.
and it says limited series, and they haven't announced. And I'm guessing they're going to try to knock it out. Kind of like the TV movie did. It was like what 8
Yeah.
hours? Well, not like it was
Mhm.
it 4 or 8? It was something like that. It was real long. It was because I remember when you would get the VHS, there were several tapes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they had it on
it was
that.
a 2-tape affair out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And even I had one of the first releases of it on DVD, and it was a fucking 2-discer.
Yeah.
Yeah. They said, because I was doing a little research on it, they said that they wanted to do 10 episodes,
Mm-hmm.
but they were able to write everything down into 9
9.
episodes.
Yeah.
And it's going to tell the whole story
Yeah.
and be done. And I mean, that's the way to do it.
That's cool.
I'm glad that they did it as a series as opposed to doing it as a trilogy or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and then
Um,
they didn't do this thing where they're like, all right, we're going to do a season, then we're going to make a movie, and then we're going to do another season. It's like, nah,
yeah, fuck
let's just
all
get it
that.
out there, man. I mean, so far, so good.
Yeah. I mean, who owns the rights to? I mean,
The Dark Tower?
NBC. Yeah, I mean, NBC's doing the rights or they've got the rights for this, right?
The
Because it's on
CBS.
Peacock. or CBS. Yeah.
Well, when I was looking just a minute ago for The Dark Tower, Columbia Pictures put that out, and they did it. It was
Aren't they owned by
distribution
Sony?
through Sony. Yeah, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
so fuck
Bagoozy.
Sony.
Yeah, right.
We're back to that. It always goes
Yeah.
around back to that.
Yeah, it's the never ending.
End of the day, fuck Sony.
Yeah.
But so far so good.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait for the next episode. I'm interested.
I watched all
So-
The Boys and liked it. I think I've talked about
Really?
that. Yeah, every bit of it.
Hell yeah.
That's one of those shows too, man. If you start 2 seasons, you'll be gone in like no time.
Knock it out in a day.
Yeah. Dude,
I was gonna
it
watch.
gets dark in that second season too, man. They go like, they touch on some shit that you're like, whoa, I can't believe they're doing this.
Right.
It's rated R as fuck. I like the main guy. Can't remember his name.
Carl Urban.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's awesome. But yeah, star.
So we got a little bit of movie news that Trav dropped in here, and
Trav, when you were
Yeah.
dropping these in here, you were also dropping different ones in the other room. Did you mean for those to go in here?
No,
Because at the same
ones,
time, you were dropping different ones, like
yeah,
in the other room.
I kept most of these right here.
Okay.
so
Like the High
there-
Republic one, and anyway.
there's a theory going around that Loki planned the Shatari invasion to unite the Avengers. So it says the Loki planned the Shatari invasion to unite the Avengers. As a theory, it's wild, but the God of Chaos has done more for less. In 2021's The Avengers, Loki, angry that Thor had taken the throne Loki thought was rightfully his, invaded Earth with a massive army of Shatari invaders. At the time, the invasion served a two-way purpose. Loki invaded Earth with the promise he would retrieve the Space Stone, otherwise known as the Tesseract, for Thanos, giving him more Infinity Stone to add to his collection. In return, Thanos granted Loki an army to conquer Earth, aka Midgard, and become, as Loki saw it anyway, its deserving new ruler. And it helped that it just so happened to be his hated brother Thor's most beloved planet. So the battle.
It's a really long ass article, but like essentially, it just explains how Doctor Strange wasn't fucking with him because Strange saw what he was doing, and the theory poses that the show is going to be Loki, like finding out that Loki has been more or less playing against Thanos the whole time and was just buying time for the heroes to get their shit together.
Well, that could be pretty interesting to watch play out. I'm cool with that. I mean, hey, that's pretty interesting theory, and it makes sense. I mean, yeah, you're like, that's right. Why didn't Doctor Strange fuck with him? You know, or why didn't anybody like actually capture his ass and like throw him under a jail?
And it adds more. It adds more to the sequence in Ragnarok when Thor shows up at Doctor Strange, and he says he's had his eye on Loki for quite some time now.
Yeah,
and it just like at first everyone's going to be drawn to the fact that he's why the battle in New York happened. Of course, Strange would be following him.
Yeah,
but it also it gives another dimension to it.
Yeah,
no pun intended.
I'm excited about that Loki series. I mean, WandaVision comes out in like 10 days, I think. The 15th.
11 day. Yes, 11.
There were 300 reporters.
Yeah. Funny, you know exactly where that came from.
Yeah, I was watching that the other day. I saw that clip pop up on my feed, but so next we got Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat movie, everything we know so far. After a couple of setbacks, Mortal Kombat is finally coming this year. The reboot will be part of the list that Warner Brothers scheduled for 2021 release. Here's everything that we know. Martial arts fantasy action film will be released simultaneously in theaters and on HBO Max streaming service by Warner Brothers Pictures on April the 16th. Although the film finished production before COVID put the world on lockdown, it still faced a couple of challenges that caused several delays. Nevertheless, writer Greg Russo said it's going to be worth the wait. Thanks to the fans for your patience. It will be worth the wait. Hashtag Mortal Kombat. Film wrapped as early as December of 2019. Jesus Christ, really? Looking forward to you guys seeing the movie in 380 days. They must have a lot of fucking post effects going on here. So Mortal Kombat plot, what is it about? Based on the popular video game franchise, the 2021 film will serve as a reboot and third installment in the Mortal Kombat film series. Not much is known about the exact plot for the upcoming film, but we know that it is going to be bloody. Since it's already been stated by other members of the team, I'm going to put this one to bed. Mortal Kombat will be R-rated. And for the first time ever, fatalities will finally be on the big screen. You'll just have to wait for the movie and see. Russo penned the script for the 2021 Mortal Kombat film with Simon McQuoid sitting on the director's chair and James Wan producing. It's good to know that the film will finally embrace its bloody origins, though the fatalities have posed a bit of a challenge to the actors. Let me just say this. There were some days on set I felt sick. I'm not kidding. They did not hold back. Ludi Lin will star as Liu Kang, joined by Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero. Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, Chi Han as Shang Tsung, Jessica McNamee as Sonya, Josh Lawson as Kano, Maked Brooks as Jax. I mean, they've got no-name actors coming out of their ass over here on this film. We're still waiting on the official trailer as of this writing. However, the trailer is expected to drop anytime soon. We'll update the page when we get the official trailer. So, I mean, hey, I'm down with some bloody... Look, Mortal Kombat Legacy, that web series that they did.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And some of the artistic directions that they took, some of the stories, was so good and so interesting, especially that Raiden story. That shit was so fucking good, man. And I was really hoping that they would give that guy the opportunity to make the feature film. And I know that he at one point was attached to do it, and there was scripts, and they were getting ready to film it, and a bunch of weird shit happened, this, that, and the other. But hopefully this can live up to that. Because in my Mortal Kombat, the first one holds a special place in my heart, as I'm sure it does both of you guys. Because, you know, we watched it as a kid growing up. And I just hope that this can not only live up to that, but also exceed it in every way possible. So I'm excited about Mortal Kombat. It's such a good idea. I mean, a tournament style film is just something that it doesn't get old, and it's on the surface it's so simple. I mean, if you do Street Fighter, it's a simple concept. Why can't we get it right? Mortal Kombat, a simple concept. Why can't we get it right? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's kind of like the Wonder Woman effect. That's what I'm going to call it. There's too much weight on those characters, and everybody's afraid they're going to fuck it up. And then in the process of doing so, they fuck it up. So hopefully, I'm hoping this will be good, and maybe it will open the doors. I mean, I would really like to see a street fight, like a legit Street Fighter film. You know, and bring fucking Van Damme back to play like M. Bison or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you by all means could do something like that. Just why not? And I'm kind of surprised that they don't have some of the original actors and actresses from the Mortal Kombat film coming back and showing their face. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. Next, we've got Legend of Zelda. Is it happening on Netflix? So, with its massive success, it's normal to expect the game to be adapted into a television series, a trend that's becoming quite popular over the years. For years, rumors have been going around that the adaptation is coming to Netflix. Could that be true? Let's find out. Netflix still hasn't confirmed that Legend of Zelda is coming to the streaming platform, and Nintendo even denied the existence of the project in the past. Rumors started 6 years ago. Nintendo CEO was quick to deny the report. 3 years later, the Wrap reported that Adi Shankar was in talks to produce a TV series on Zelda. Shankar played the lead role for Netflix's animated Castlevania series. Actor posted on Instagram that he's working with a Japanese company for an adaptation of the iconic video game series into a television series. People assume that Adi was talking about Legend of Zelda. However, a month later, the actor announced that he would actually be working on a Devil May Cry series. Then the rumors died down. Gossip reignited in September of 2020, reported Tom Holland as being eyed for the adaptation's lead role. The entertainment website claimed that the information came from the same source who tipped them about Ben Affleck's return for The Flash, and that the Witcher prequel is in development long before it was officially announced. Aside from that, there's another reason fans to cling to their beliefs that the Legend of Zelda adaptation is coming to Netflix. IMDb page for the adaptation exists, and it reveals the series is currently under production with Netflix as the distributor. So, Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm. Piece of our
Should
childhood.
it be animated or live action?
Well, we reported on it at one point that we were getting an animated Netflix series.
Mm-hmm. How do y'all feel about the way they did, what was that other one? Dark Crystal? What if they did it kind of like that?
Oh, that would be
I mean?
fun.
Because that's a cool style of, they like puppets with animation.
Yeah.
What if they did it that way, and then you could have fucking Link look like Link, you know?
That would be
That's
perfect,
the only way
man.
I'm cool with it. But then here's the thing, if they go full live action, it's going to look cheesy, right?
It's just one of those things where it really depends on just how, regardless, this has to be a passion project to somebody for it to be made well. Like, this can't just be handed off to some Joe to be like, hey, here's Zelda, make it. Like, it needs to be like it's got to have a director that wants to step up and be like, I can fucking do this. I want to do this.
Well, like when you look at scenes from that Dark Crystal show, it's kind of already got a Zelda vibe going on, you know?
Oh yeah, it's
the way it's shot, and the way the world, because it's got to be like that. You can't just have some normal. Because you remember in Zelda, you go to different places and everywhere,
Oh yeah.
You're not just out there running around in the forest.
It would just be. It would be really cool to see a big sweeping shot of Hyrule where you see Mount.
Well, they do that when you're riding the horse
you
through.
See the. Yeah.
And they do the big pan over. They show you the sword and the fucking castle.
Have a sequence where Link's getting Epona, and he's out there. You're out there talking at the farm, and they're you know, you just see they just have this shot of Hyrule. And just have one of those things where you know he's thinking about the quest at hand, you know?
And that little bitch is like, listen,
You
you know?
hit him with the Navy.
Remember at the beginning when you were all like, he's like laying there crying and stuff and lonely.
Yeah.
And she comes in there and she's like, I'm saying she's a C, but
All I'm saying is that, like, I think,
it'd be cool.
dude, just imagine a live a live action version of the sequence where young Link gets the Master Sword out of the Temple of Time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get the whole sequence where he meets up with, where he realizes Saria was one of the sages that he woke up, and you have that moment. Like, dude, it could be so fucking good.
Yeah. But it's like, if they decide to do Legend of Zelda, are they going to create an original story, or are they going to adapt one of the existing stories?
Really wish they would do the Ocarina of Time. I
Yeah.
feel like that narrative has the safest storyline that could be put into
You don't think they'll do
a movie.
Majora's Mask? They're like,
They
we're gonna
might.
need Christopher Nolan for this one.
Well, what's badass is Ocarina of Time sets the stage
Yeah.
for Majora's Mask, so it would be
I
great
mean,
to
yeah,
get
I want to
like
see
a
Ocarina of
two-part
Time. That's
movie.
the one where I'm.
Because well, I mean, because well, the thing is but like Ocarina of Time could set the precedent of time jumping with the sword.
Yeah.
And then that way when they introduce the idea of him having to basically do Groundhog Day to save the world in Majora's Mask,
Yeah.
it would be easier to jump into just a faster paced time travel story where, you know, you have constant like replaying shit over and over, you know.
Yeah.
Are there any images in there?
It's just like images
Yeah.
from video games and stuff. So, I mean, I think the Ocarina of Time would be a good one. I think Link to the Past would be a good story to adapt. I haven't played through all of the newest ones, so I'm not 100% sure how that would play out. But
Did you guys scroll down and look at that one guy that's like open for business? Did you see that?
no,
Look at his post. Now, I don't want Link to look like that. Hell no.
No, no
that's
grimdark shit.
Hell
That's
no.
Dante.
that's
Dante from Devil May Cry.
Yeah. So they're
Now,
doing a
this
Devil
is
May Cry
now the
series.
thing is, as edgelord as that picture is, this is the motherfucker that gave us Dread.
Yeah. But I mean, I
So-
think he's got it in his heart to,
And I mean, you know, we've discussed his bootleg
Oh.
universe stuff before, and he's got really cool ideas. And it's cool that there's someone in that level of Hollywood that at least entertains the thought of some of these properties being made.
Yeah.
Dude, not only should they have their eyes on Tom Holland, they should get him.
Yeah. Go ahead and lock it in.
Go ahead and lock it in, dude.
I mean, he's doing Uncharted W.
Yeah.
So, I
W.
mean, W. Lastly, here we have Justice League 2. Snyder says he has no plans to continue after Snyder Cut. So this has been bouncing around a lot, and this is what he had to say about it. Look, I never thought I'd be here doing this. I didn't think I'd be finishing Justice League. The truth is, and it's been widely reported, and I have no issue, this is an old movie. This is a year-old movie I'm working on. The DC Universe has gone and branched off and done its own thing, and that's fine. As far as what I did and as far as what my vision for what I wanted to do with these characters and the journey I wanted them to go on, it's well known that I planned on more movies, 5 movies or something. But I'm busy. I've got a lot going on. Is it cool that fans have so much faith in the trajectory? Yes, it's amazing, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm excited for them to see Justice League so they can really drink the entire elixir of Justice League. But would I continue? I have no plan to. But like I said, I didn't think I'd be here, so who knows? And he's always kind of more or less kept it open-ended about basically what it's going to come down to is how well is Justice League going to do, and are they going to give him reign to do, because he originally wanted to do Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Justice League, Man of Steel 2, Justice League 2. That was like his whole film trajectory whenever he started doing all this stuff. So would I love to see a Man of Steel 2? Abso-fucking-lutely. You know, would I love to see, you know, Justice League 2? I mean, maybe. I don't know, because I don't know what all he's putting in the 4-hour cut. You know what I mean? So I don't know if he's gonna wrap the whole story up there and be done with it or what. But at the end of the day, it's just like if he gets the recognition that I think that it deserves, I think that there might be something there. And I think that they might let him do whatever he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Free will.
But we'll see. I mean, and then again, he might even decide to like wrap, you know, Man of Steel 2 and Justice League 2 up into a series.
Yeah.
And just let that be that. Because you could probably have both of those stories coexist at the same time in a very interesting narrative type of way. So, but you know, what do we know?
Yeah.
What do we know?
I mean, we got it released. I would like to think that our years of bitching about it online is the only reason that it's coming out. I mean, you know, you're welcome.
The only reason, right? I mean, if it wasn't for us,
we started countless petitions.
Yeah, fuck Sony. Yeah, we were there.
We're on the warpath for like 3 or 4 years.
Who do you think bought those billboards in fucking Hollywood?
Yeah. Our Patreon. Join our Patreon because we're trying to get more billboards.
Yeah.
We want to get more Han Solos made.
Yeah. That's the next agenda, right? More Han Solos. So next, or lastly, I guess, I just saw this here. Bruce Campbell doing a live commentary for Evil Dead as part of virtual watch party this month. Presented by Watch With. Bruce Campbell is taking part in a virtual viewing of Sam Raimi's horror classic Evil Dead later this month, with the horror icon providing live commentary. The Watch With team explains this highly unique event. Have you ever dreamed of watching your favorite movie with the star from that flick? Now is your chance to hand over the remote control to the stars and let them guide you through your faves like you've never experienced it before. Join the celebrity watch party and relive the movie through the eyes of the star, pausing the action to explain scenes, tell unknown stories about the action, or provide funny tidbits of trivia straight from the source. So this is January the 23rd at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Bruce Campbell is going to be on there. Yes.
That's when we do
January
our podcast.
21. It's the 23rd.
Oh,
23rd.
On Saturday.
That's Saturday before. Yeah. It's $25. The video on demand will be available to view for 48 hours following the live event, with tickets starting at $25 for the live stream plus the subsequent video on demand offering. $50 VIP tickets will also get you a limited edition poster. So I wish I would have went to the fucking Von Braun.
Did they still have that even though the COVID thing was happening? Did that happen?
I think they ended up
that's right, because saw someone's photo with him and he had to stand apart.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand that. You're 6 feet.
Yeah. I wish I would have went though, man.
6 feet till midnight. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
See, he's going around doing that thing. You know, like with Kevin Smith, like, take the movie out.
Yeah.
Take it around, dude. People will come out for that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, Evil Dead's playing. I got to work that day. Bruce Campbell's going to be there?
Going to be there.
Calling in.
Yeah.
I fucked my foot.
Yeah.
My foot's fucked.
Yeah, you've been calling in a lot.
We got to bring up, we lost Tanya Roberts. Bond
Well,
girl.
they come out and said that she wasn't actually dead.
Yeah, I just read on her Wikipedia.
So is she dead?
Yeah, and here's what happened. She had well, see, they announced it early. They announced it on the 23rd, but she wasn't dead yet, and she died like on the 25th, maybe, or 24th.
That's fucked
She did
up.
die, but she was on a respirator. She had fell down. She was on a hike and had breathing problems. I just read this on Wikipedia. And then she fell out of bed, couldn't breathe really, good. And they took her to the hospital, put her on a respirator. It said she had a history of hepatitis C.
Whoa.
And something else. It wasn't COVID, because I was like, respirator or ventilator.
Yeah. Right.
I was like, COVID. But yeah, she's gone. Confirmed.
I loved her in that 70s show.
Yeah.
She was one of my favorite parts of that. So
We lost
sad
Bond
day.
girl.
Yeah.
By the way, all James Bond YouTube free with ads. I went on there and checked. They're all there.
I mean, that's the way to do it, right?
Yeah, they look good.
Right.
Got that good Kodak.
I wonder. Now, I'm just thinking out loud here because I thought about this and I wish I would have investigated a little bit more whenever they did the Every Time I Die and the Black Dahlia thing of screen capping it while it's happening.
Yeah, you could have done that.
Maybe
that's
do
like
that with Evil Dead.
Well, see, like, look. So, like Netflix.
Yeah.
If you open Chrome or use the Netflix app, because I've got the Netflix app on my computer.
Yeah.
I use it. But if you try to use that or Chrome and try to screen grab it with OBS, doesn't work. And I was like, that's weird. Like the screen's just black. You can hear it. I'm like, huh. So I go online and look it up, and they're like, yeah, all you got to do is use a different browser. Anything but Chrome. Firefox, you know, Opera. I pulled that up, played it, hit record, recorded it. I was just like, oh. So, yeah, you could. Yeah, you could widescreen it, do it in high quality.
May have to, anyway.
Get you a copy of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
May have to make that happen.
Oh, I'm back at my computer now. She had a really bad urinary tract infection.
Man,
and that's what sent her in. Dude, that's what happened to my grandmother, dude. She had a stroke because she had a urinary tract infection.
I've heard that's bad shit.
Yeah,
man.
It'll lead to like blood infections, and it's bad if you don't get it treated.
That's fucked up. That's
You'll
fucked
have
up.
a psychotic break's what they call it. When the infection starts to kick in, you like hallucinate.
Right.
A lot of these older people get it, and they'll like have a psychotic break, and it'll be like some older guy, and he'll be strong arming everybody, trying to leave and shit. And they're like, you don't know where your shit lasts. You can't leave.
Yeah.
That psychotic break ain't no joke.
Should I tell the people about my almost psychotic break?
Yeah.
All right. So I had the COVID. We talked about this last week. I had the COVID. And like everybody was like, vitamins. And I'm like, okay, I don't take vitamins normally, but I was like, all right. So I was taking calcium, vitamin C, zinc. And one of these three things I'm never fucking taking ever again. Ever. Not even if there's a fire. I'm not taking this shit.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nah, dude, I was having these very intense, like real life dreams.
Yeah,
vivid. And I was waking up and thinking I was still in the dreams. And it ruined about 3 days of my COVID-cosis, is what I'm gonna call it. I couldn't sleep because I kept waking up and thinking that I needed to do whatever the fuck it was I was doing in my dream.
The task was still at hand.
Yes. And it was the worst fucking, on top of being sick. Like, I felt like I've never been that sick before.
Did you feel like a bag of mashed up assholes?
Yes, I really felt like if I die right now, it makes sense.
Yeah, you're like, and I'll feel better.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like that's how
exactly,
sick you are.
Yeah, because dude, I've never felt fatigue like that before. Like I just felt like someone had just beat the shit out of me,
Yeah,
and like
sore
on top
joints,
of
like elbows, knees, like an
everything was
achiness.
sore, and I was just tired. Dude, I slept for like 20 plus hours a day,
Yeah, and was still
and
tired.
then oh yeah, and it was just a bad experience. And then on top of that, the zinc
Yeah.
was fucking me up so bad. Like I really thought that I had to do whatever it was that I was dreaming about.
Mm,
And like I was having dreams that there was people that I was looking for in the house.
yeah.
And I was up at all hours of the night
Just
looking for
roaming
people.
around.
Yes. To the point where my wife was like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "You don't understand. There is a motherfucker here."
And I gotta find them.
Yes. She thought I was losing my mind. And
That's
it
like a
was the
cross
worst.
between sleepwalking. Well, it's like you wake up, but in your mind the dream's still going on.
Yeah.
And when do you realize? Do you
Dude,
finally roam around long enough to where you're like, wait a minute, they're not here.
yeah.
It's fucking. I'm looking at the clock.
Yeah.
You finally come to it
So,
where you're like, oh, okay. I'm sleep. I
well,
was dreaming.
what ended up happening was I was so tired and so sick that I kept going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I would go to sleep, I would go into REM sleep every
Yeah.
single time. And I would have these dreams every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't matter. Like I would be up doing shit and then I'd finally get tired out enough to where I would lay back down and go back to sleep. And then I would wake up and whatever that dream was about,
Yeah.
I had to accomplish this task.
Mm-hmm.
And it just continuously happened for about 3 days. Until I finally quit taking that stuff. And then once I quit taking it and everything, everything was fine. But like it was it really was one of the worst experiences I've ever had in my life. And it sucks because like I'm sick already.
Yeah.
And then on top of being
You're
sick,
going
then I'm
crazy.
having I'm having these crazy dreams, man. And I've always been someone that's had very intense, vivid dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I do dream, it's always felt borderline real.
Yeah.
Um, and this just amplified that and took it to 11. And I really thought that I was going crazy at a certain point. And then I finally started doing some research and I'm like, vitamin C. Okay. I've taken vitamin C. I've drank vitamin C.
Yeah.
I've been involved with vitamin C.
Mm-hmm.
Never had that problem. I've taken calcium before.
Mm-hmm.
Never had that problem. So I narrowed it down to one thing. And then whenever I look it up online, it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, it causes very vivid dreams. And I'm just like, motherfucker. So that was my experience with like being deathly sick on top of all this other crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
It was terrible, man. I wouldn't wish COVID on like my worst enemy. I mean, I really felt you feel dead for 3 to 5 days. Or I did at least.
Mm-hmm.
That was my experience with it. So hopefully nobody will get sick.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So where are you at on your taste and senses now?
Well, and that was one of the weird things. So my taste slowly started coming back. But like, all right, so Marina's dad, and this was another thing. I'll get into this here in a second. But Marina's dad brought a chicken pot pie over. It was uncooked, but it was already made. Put it in the oven, we cooked it, got it out. The only thing that I could taste in it was chicken. You know how much shit is in a pot pie, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I could taste was the chicken. So from that point forward, I ate a lot of chicken because that was the only thing I could taste. And then slowly over time, it started coming back. And then my smell over time finally started. Like I cooked chili earlier and I could smell it while it was cooking, you know, but it's not like I used to have really good smell. Now it's just kind of okay smell, you know. But yeah, that's all coming back together nicely. I do feel better. I just feel drunk. I have a drunk feeling a lot of the time. And it's very weird where I feel like I am tipsy in the middle of the day, but I know I'm not. And I'm going back to work tomorrow. So this is going to be a whole new fucking experience. The brain fog sucks and the tipsy feeling sucks.
Yeah.
But at least that's manageable, you know? That's the only good part about it, I guess. So yeah, that's my experience with
COVID Chronicles.
Yeah, with the COVID, man. It was just bad, man. Just bad news. I'm still not getting the shot.
Yeah.
I
Pass on
mean,
that for a little while at least.
yeah,
But dude, I don't do flu shots.
I don't either.
What
I
I'm
did
saying?
one.
Did
Yeah.
that make you sick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Worst flu I've ever had.
It's like, thanks for
So.
giving me the flu.
Right. So
But yeah.
So yeah, wash your hands.
Yeah, right.
Wear your mask when you have to. I guess. I don't know. It's they're so flip floppy on this mask debate. So
Now they want people, like, if you've been vaccinated, they want you to wear like a blue mask. And if you haven't, you wear a red one.
Oh, so they're giving us stars, right?
Yeah.
Telling us who's Jews and who's not.
Something like that.
That's what it feels like, though.
Yeah.
You know.
It's
Do you have
getting
your
a little.
papers?
Yeah, that one's real. They're like, I need to see your COVID card and see if you've been vaccinated.
Yeah.
Excuse me? The thing that's crazy about it is everyone getting tested. Like, they get your DNA.
Yeah.
Not only are they testing you for COVID, but they got your DNA.
Yeah. Well, I got loyalty. I got royalty inside my DNA.
Yeah. Damn.
So, you know. Whenever they look at mine under the microscope, it's like, I got. It starts doing that. But I'm ready for trailers.
Yeah, man, I'm getting my.
Oh, what I was going to say earlier. Nobody ever comes to my house. Like, we may get together and play board games one night and have a couple of friends over, this, that, and the other.
Out.
Dude,
advance.
I've never had so many motherfuckers come to my house until I tested positive.
Yeah. And you're like, please, like, you just want them to leave you alone.
Yeah, it was like 3 times a day people were showing up. And I'm just like, I am sick as fuck.
I don't want to have to, entertain, you know? I don't want to answer a bunch of questions.
Yeah. And I appreciate,
you appreciate the gesture. Like, nice of you, but we get it.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming over and bringing groceries.
You don't have to come tomorrow, though.
Yeah,
you came today.
Yeah. And people kept bringing groceries, and I'm like, I can't taste. I have no appetite. I still have no
That's
appetite.
just a reason for them to come over.
Yeah.
You know
I mean, if they want to get sick, I could have
just. It's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Trying to catch it? It's like, motherfucker, this ain't chicken pox.
Yeah, right.
That's the real deal.
Yeah. So, you know. But anyway, I'm ready for some trailers here. Start having fucking flashbacks.
Locked down?
Yeah, I don't know.
And
There
Hathaway?
were there wasn't a lot of trailers,
No.
but I'm ready for it though.
All right, you ready, Trev?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Oh, this makes sense. She got COVID, like lockdown fever.
Yeah.
They said the divorce rate went up
Oh,
when
I
everybody had to
bet.
sit at home together all the time.
Yeah.
Get your CV. Oh shit.
Oh,
Vacation.
shit.
So now it's a heist during the lockdown?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe so. Yep. Wow, it took a left turn like
Yeah.
didn't expect. Somebody wrote this during lockdown.
Yeah. They're like Cast Catwoman.
It looks better than I thought it was going to be, though.
Yeah.
A little British humor. All right.
Don't look terrible,
No.
right?
Don't look terrible at all. Interested.
Next, we got a Thomas Jane film. Run, Fight, Hide.
All right.
So
Kill,
we're running,
mate,
we're
feed,
fighting, and we're
repeat.
hiding. Yeah, yeah, right.
I'm going to get it pulled up. Run, fight, hide. What are we going to do? Run, fight, hide. Run, fight, hide. Let's see if it
Ready.
gives away too much. You ready, Trav?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. Run, fight, hide.
Serious?
It's a good shot. All right. I knew it had to win at least something. It is pretty dark in that room. I recognize him.
Thomas Jane.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Illegal. I don't know about that. Oh shit. Uh-oh. This
Oh, it's
is
one of
not what
these.
I thought it was gonna be. Fucking Columbine over here. I don't know if that's the play, dude. Making a school shooter movie. Like I want to play that. Remember Will Smith's Just the Two of Us? And
Yeah.
at the beginning of it, you could hear his little kid say, "That is a very sensitive subject."
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And of course, it's some school up in the sticks where there's guns. You know, she's gonna go back in and take them out, dude. One by one. What the fuck? Don't they have their own fucking task force or something to send in? This is like another version. This is the Zoomer version of Die Hard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's on the inside. She's gonna fight her way out. I don't know, man, about making movies about that. That's you got
Yeah,
some
it's a
balls on
little.
you to
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah.
Oh shit. We got a code red. I'm leaving comments as myself.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah. Fine.
No, it's not. Go here. I'm not gonna do it right now, but what trailer did we watch before that one? Y'all remember? The name of it?
No.
All right,
I'll
I'll
have to
look
look
into
at
history.
history.
I'll do it after.
The investigation. Mystery.
It's a mystery movie.
Yeah.
Dude looks
Apparently.
serious as fuck.
I know, right?
He looks like a younger. I can't think of his name. Michael.
Michael Shannon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I put it in there.
Ready when y'all are.
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. It's HBO. I'm on HBO Go, man. I got an account now and some good shit on there.
Oh shit.
Submarine. It's a foreign.
What the fuck are they speaking?
Maybe Denmark. One of the actors is from Denmark. I don't know what they speak in Denmark. Do you guys?
Danish?
I don't know. Yeah, they speak Danish. This is probably Danish.
That's Baron Zemo. Dude from Inglourious Bastards that did the sniper movie.
Yeah.
Looks intense, right?
It does, and they show you the movie, but they didn't really give anything away. Like,
No.
all right, HBO, we see you.
Yeah. We see you,
We
ABO.
got a new WandaVision trailer.
Yeah. A new era of corruption.
A new era of corruption.
Okay.
We're gonna be the first comment. Weird that almost there's 2,500 fucking views and there's no comments. Like, come on, guys.
Bots.
Yeah. We see you, Joe Blow. Y'all ready?
I'm ready. Yeah.
Ready, Trav?
Oh, yes.
3, 2, 1, play. The short one. I like how it's in 640 by 480. Bewitched. It's all the shows. Dude, I bet this shit's gonna be like Watchmen good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just got a feeling. And it's got that Watchmen feel. $15th? Oh, dude, 10 days?
Yeah. 10-day.
You think they'll drop it all? They'll release it a week at a time.
Yeah.
Because they did that with.
What the hell is this going to become,
It's
you
gonna be
know?
some shit, dude. I've got a good feeling though that when you watch like some of the, that's the way that Watchmen was, just crazy
Yeah.
and I think it's gonna have some good writing. I think. I don't know.
I'm
I don't know.
excited. I don't know.
I don't know.
I saw this was Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X. I figured I'd check.
Like a movie about
Check.
them.
Yeah.
Fucking right, dude.
One night in Miami.
Miami.
Ready when y'all are.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Prime?
It's got the accent, the body. Oh,
Whoa.
whose brother? It's like Sam Cooke. It is.
I'm getting buffering issues.
It's gonna be good as fuck, dude. They went all out too for the. If you go period piece, you gotta go full period piece.
Yeah.
You know? There can't be a car on the street that doesn't match the year.
Yeah.
Old ass lamps. I didn't even know that they had any kind of run-ins together. Like,
No.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that was one of the things about Muhammad Ali was his ties to the Nation of Islam.
Yeah. I always thought
When
he
he
just
changed
changed his name to get
It's
out
when
of
he
going to the
changed his
war.
name to Cassius Clay to avoid going to Vietnam.
Yeah.
Or something like that. I could be skewing the history there.
That looks pretty good.
I think it was Muhammad Ali. It's not his original name, is it? I don't know
Yeah.
I ain't be knowing.
though. I saw this trailer, or at least one of them.
You watched it?
Yeah,
Does it look good? This is from October, but anyway,
it did look good.
I like Zappa.
Yeah. Oh, dude, motherfuckers was. He's got some based interviews out there.
Mm-hmm.
That's for
Yeah.
damn sure. Aren't y'all ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, play. For sure gonna watch it. Fucking John's there. Oh shit. Frank was on another level, dude.
Yeah.
Like before his time. I remember at one point. Yeah, they didn't expect that when he came in for the interviews for him to be sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
They thought he's gonna roll in there, be a goofy fuck. Wouldn't that have been crazy? Zappa 2020. He'd be like, let's make America groovy again.
What else did Winter do?
I don't know, but that looks good. Let's see.
Ring the bell.
Alex Winter.
Griffin, you have any movie recommendations? Because if not, I think we do.
Alex Winter was from Bill and Ted.
Okay.
No, I don't have anything. What you guys
The other
got?
night we were watching compilation of clips with that Doom music over it.
Yeah.
I think instead of watching the trailer for the movie, now, so in this compilation, it's playing the Doom music, and this guy comes into a room full of people, and he's got a lawnmower using it as a weapon. He's just chopping everybody up, dude. It's from a movie called Dead Alive that Peter Jackson directed. Remember we were looking at his?
Yeah, this is an older, like a 80s.
It's old.
Yeah, late
Dude,
80s, early
have
Now
you-
I
90s.
know you
ever
remember
watched
the
it, Griffin?
box.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So it's like one of the most gory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, and I used to see the box all the time when I was a kid, and I'll show you, dude, because you saw this shit.
Yeah.
You were in a video store, and you saw. I'm gonna put it in general. This fucking box right here. More
You
than
might have
once.
to explain what a video store. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I never watched that as a kid. I just didn't know what that was.
It's been years
Instead of
since I've
watching the
seen it.
trailer, because the trailer doesn't have any gore at all. They
Yeah.
try to trick people with it. I'm gonna pull up the lawnmower scene.
All right.
Oh,
With the
yes.
Doom music.
Do you want to watch that? I mean, it's the same scene, so we technically we just do that, right?
Yeah, that's
All right,
fine.
let me pull the
I don't
clip. I got
care.
it right here
Yes.
because it was awesome. Right here, I got it. All right, I'm copying it. I'm sending it over. But after we saw this, I was like, I wonder what movie that is. And I looked it up and I was like, oh, this movie. I've never seen it.
It's been a long time, man.
I'm like, oh, this movie. And I'm like, that's the one. Because remember, we were watching Peter Jackson shit.
Yeah.
We looked at, what was that movie with the, we watched
With the
a weird,
puppets?
yeah.
Shit,
Something
I can't
Christmas
even
with the
remember.
Crags or something. It was something. But yeah, when we were looking at all that and going over his shit, we saw it on the list.
Shit, I'm
Dude,
ready.
I keep fucking clicking the wrong thing. Hang on, because it's in a playlist.
Yeah.
I'm over here trying to pause it. Well, I want to pause. God damn. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm buffering over here. Drop the quality. All right. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
This shit's over the top.
Yes, it is. Dude, in some of the comments for the movie, people are like, it's his finest work. And I'm like, he made Lord of the Rings. But they're like, it's like this, dude. It's awesome with the music over it. I mean, dude.
Look at these practical effects.
Yeah. He gets up in there, don't he? Like,
yeah, no fucks given.
Yeah. Excuse me. We got the Yard Buddy 4000 coming through.
2.
Didn't want to get the picture dirty. It's like hamburger meat, dude.
Yeah.
That's just one scene in the movie, you know?
Yeah. I love how pink the blood is.
Yeah. I mean, god damn, dude. They let this guy make Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know?
I like how he's got it tied to him.
Yeah.
Like he's
A
got
strap.
a shoulder strap like it's a guitar. Yeah.
Look, he wiping his head. Dude, that shit would get heavy as fuck. After we watched the trailer and pulled it up, Trav was like, we should watch that next week.
I'm
like,
down.
We'll see. Because I don't, even if I have seen it, I wouldn't remember it.
Yeah.
Because that's how long ago it would have been.
It's been a long time for me.
Figure it'll be a fun
Preacher
fun
feature.
way to start our
New Year.
Our little stash of gore films for the year.
Yeah.
Started off right. But yeah. I did.
I'm
Anybody?
down.
We good?
We'll have the next episode of The Stand.
Yep. Talk about that. Whatever fucking movie news. Dude, I don't think it's going to be too long before the Snyder Cut drops, from what they said. Because that, you know, I know they want to let Wonder Woman make its money, but he was like, when the hype dies down, and I was like, that happened like 10 minutes ago, dude.
Yeah, right.
Drop it. No,
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm just kidding, but yeah. So that's when that happens. It doesn't matter what we're doing.
Yeah,
That's what's happening.
That's taking the
It's
spot.
taking it. Be awesome if it was on like episode 200 or something.
Oh my
It'd be
God.
crazy. It'd be like, man, the fucking planets aligned this year.
Yeah.
Snyder Cut dropped on 200.
Oh, you know what we didn't do?
So,
Year in review.
yeah. I realized it when I was listening to the last one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, we forgot to pick the episodes. But we got to get our list. We can still do that.
Y'all want to do it next week?
Yeah, because we're close enough to where we could still do it. And I got to pull completely forgot about it after I said it. I was like, I'll take the list and, go through there and mark everything and then just,
Yeah.
get the list of movies that were in this year.
Yeah.
And so we know what number we can stop at because I can look on the YouTube and see. Yeah, we can throw it down next week. What was it, our top 3 or was it 3?
Let's do top 5.
Top 5?
Top 5
That gives you enough.
2020.
Now, do they have to be in any kind of order?
No.
I mean, just top 5. Like, well, if I say, you always got the one where you're like, this one was my favorite one, so it's got to be 1.
Yeah.
But
That's fine.
because some of them are hard. It's like,
yeah.
I mean, we watched The Lighthouse last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of good shit.
Midsummer. Yeah.
So it's going to be a weird top 5.
Yeah. And we watched some good older flicks too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, let's do top.
We delved into art house more frequently
went
than
into
I
it.
recall now.
Yeah.
We took the deep dive, dude. We watched fucking Hard to Be a God.
Well,
What was the other one?
Speaking of that, Man Bites Dog.
No, that one was.
Parasite?
That movie was actually really good. No, the one where the weird one, man, where they went into the room and remember the guys were on the railroad train thing. We watched them ride that thing. What was it like? Remember we said we're gonna have to come back later.
Oh, Stalker.
Stalker.
Yeah.
We gonna have to revisit this one.
Yeah. This is a real estate revisit.
I don't even think we've grown enough to watch it.
Yeah. Well, remember, guys, go ahead and start getting some ideas for foreign film February.
Oh yeah.
Because that's creeping up on us. So
that's a tradition now.
Yeah.
We only got 3 weeks, so
yeah.
So what we can do is, I guess, each kind of pick a film and then try to find one that we all want to be like, yeah, we want to see that.
Yeah.
Well, over the next few weeks, why don't we start doing this? We got 3 weeks. Like when we're watching trailers, if you come across something that you're like, this looks good. I'm not saying drop 20 foreign trailers. But find that one where you're like, oh, this is something I've been wanting to check out. Put it in there. We'll all watch it, and we'll be like, yeah. Let's see that.
Yeah.
We can do it over the next few weeks.
I'm down.
And pick our movies.
I'm down.
Well, it's gonna be a weird month.
Next week, Dead Alive.
1992.
Episode 4. Yeah.
So.
I'm ready.
Right, guys.